Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
There's freaking fire apartments. They can't get them out. There's a freaking person inside.
Oh, a heartbreaking morning for an 8-year-old girl and her mother watching as others were unable to save a driver caught in a fiery crash in El Cajon.
More concerns over vaping. Health officials say the number of people getting sick has gone up and they expect even more cases.
School bells ringing later at several schools as they try out a later start time, but some parents say it's not really working for them. We'll explain. Hi everybody, happy Friday to you. I'm Virginia Shaw.
And I'm Jim Patton. Let's get over to Megan with a check on our weather. Heading into the weekend, fun times ahead.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a really nice weekend. Temperatures a little bit warmer than they have been, but today is going to be another beautiful one. Once the sun comes up, although it's beautiful over our downtown sky cam as we look from POE's at the Coronado Ferry Landing. 58 degrees here, sunrise this morning officially 45 minutes away. Most of the county in the low to mid 50s to start off our morning, including El Cajon at 52, Chula Vista and Oceanside at 53, and a degree warmer in El Cajon. A great day to dress in layers. Whatever you were comfortable wearing yesterday, today is going to be very similar. So maybe a jacket through the mid-morning hours, and then the sunscreen, you'll want to put that on, and maybe it's a moisturizer as well. It is going to be a little dry near our mountain areas. Highs in the low to mid 70s along our coast with mostly low 80s inland. I will pinpoint where I am forecasting a few mid 80s today and a few 70s inland when I come back in just 8 minutes. How's our Friday morning drive looking, Kalina?
It is still very, very light, although we're starting to see more cars on the roadway versus what we just saw about an hour ago, but it's still pretty empty. You can see it here on both sides of the 5 freeway at 28th. North and southbound look great. Here are your drive times out of the South Bay. So the 805 right now from Main Street to the 8, just a 17-minute drive. Palomar to the 94 on the 5 freeway northbound will take you 9 minutes to get through. And then the 54 this morning is just a 6-minute commute between the 125 and the 5. You can see all the green here, but heading into Coronado, speeds down to 4 miles per hour. Jim?
Kalina, thank you. Breaking overnight, a fiery scene in El Cajon after a driver crashes his car into a tree before it went up in flames.
10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is there live in El Cajon. Mimi, Good Samaritans tried desperately to do everything they could to save that driver, but they just couldn't.
They really did try hard, Virginia, Jim, but you can see just how bad that crash was. You see investigators down there right now. This is on Fletcher Parkway. It's closed off in both directions in this section. Witnesses, though, left heartbroken after not being able to save that driver.
The guy that was there first, he was trying his hardest, and they were banging it with the axe, and we couldn't get him to wake up or break the windows. My daughter's pretty shaken up, too, because she knew there was somebody in the car, and we couldn't save the person.
There's a freaking person inside. It's gonna blow up.
And that little girl, I spoke with her this morning. She's just 8 years old. She was with her mom going to pick up some medicine at CVS around 2:20 this morning when they saw that car on fire. Mom called 911 right away. Then she and other Good Samaritans tried to help the driver, but sadly they couldn't get the person out. This is video from our 10 News breaking news tracker. You can see the aftermath of that crash. According to El Cajon police, the driver was heading westbound on Fletcher Parkway when they somehow crashed straight into a tree. Car went up in flames immediately. Police and firefighters did arrive on scene very quickly, but it was too late. Right now, we don't know much more about the driver. What we do know right now is Fletcher Parkway is going to be closed off between Amaya and Navajo for some time while this investigation continues and the medical examiner arrives on scene to remove the body. Of course, we'll let you know once there's any new developments. For now, we're live in El Cajon. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. Well, this morning, presidential candidate Senator Elizabeth Warren will be heading to L.A. for a town hall. Last night, she took the stage here in San Diego at Waterfront Park. One topic San Diegans wanted to hear about is her immigration plan. Senator Warren said she wants to see a pathway to citizenship.
Yes, that includes the dreamers, but so much more. It includes grandmas and little kids. It includes people who overstayed their visas.
She also said she has a plan for the housing crisis that would build 3.2 million homes and decrease rent by roughly 10%.
We need a bigger housing supply in America, and we can do that by making a real federal investment.
The biggest cheers from the crowd came, it seemed, from when she talked about taxing the wealthiest Americans to fund child care and universal college education. Now, a small group of local Republicans who gathered outside the rally said Warren doesn't have the experience to deal with foreign policy.
Now here's what's happening today in the impeachment inquiry. The House Intelligence Committee is interviewing the Inspector General of the intelligence community, Michael Atkinson. His office handled the whistleblower complaint. Well, this comes on the heels of 10 hours of testimony by former U.S. envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker. It included text messages, evidence of U.S. diplomats asking Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden while withholding military aid. During that testimony, President Trump continued to double down on that approach as he stood outside the White House and publicly said that China should investigate Biden as well. The president is currently in trade talks with China.
Meanwhile, today talks between the U.S. and North Korea will resume in Sweden. A source telling CNN it's not clear, though, if President Trump and Kim Jong-un will directly be involved in this new round of talks at this point. Now, the two have met 3 times, but their denuclearization talks fell apart in June during the G20 summit in Japan. North Korea has halted its tests of long-range missiles, but is still testing short-range and submarine-launched missiles.
Health officials say the number of vaping-related cases has topped 1,000. That is up 275 from just last week. 19 people have died thus far. Alaska and New Hampshire are the only states that have not confirmed any illnesses yet. The new numbers come after researchers reveal that the injuries are caused by people inhaling toxic substances.
The type of injury that I see in these cases could be compared to the type of injury that's seen in an industrial accident where an unfortunate individual is exposed to a drum of chemicals that spills on the factory floor and then inhales those fumes.
CDC says they expect to see even more cases as state health departments continue to investigate. They're still working on pinpointing the cause.
In Lemon Grove, the Sheriff's Department is trying to give deputies access to a network of security cameras right on their phone. So the idea here is to use existing security cameras as well as new cameras while deputies are on their way to a scene so they can get a better idea of what to expect when they get there. Neighbors packed a Starbucks to hear about the plan, which didn't sit well with a lot of them. Their main concern, privacy.
I know you want to find people that's doing something they have no business doing, but I'm not too keen in that area.
The Sheriff's Department says they understand the privacy concerns. Now, the city of San Diego, you may remember we told you, faced controversy when they installed hundreds of streetlight cameras and microphones that police now have access to. If the Lemon Grove program moves forward, the plan is to expand the network and give deputies access to even more cameras at local businesses. The project does not need approval from the City Council.
Happening today, dozens of World War II and Korean War veterans are getting ready to depart on the trip of a lifetime.
They're taking an honor flight to visit memorials dedicated to them and their fallen comrades. 10 News reporter Natay Holmes is live at Lindbergh Field. Natay, this is so exciting and it means so much for these veterans.
Oh, this is a great experience, and you can see nothing but fun energy out here this morning. We made it behind security. We are at Terminal 1, so they are getting ready to take their Southwest flight. You can see them waiting here. They're waiting for breakfast right now, and then they will be boarding their flight in about 30 minutes or so. But you can see just nothing but excitement this morning. And joining me is POW and Purple Heart veteran George Titano. Good morning.
Morning, morning.
How are you feeling today?
Oh, great.
How excited are you to be going on this flight with all these different veterans?
I'm very excited, really, to see a lot of these veterans that around that I know. I've seen some of them that I'm good, close friend, and yeah, I'm looking forward to join them up to Washington, D.C.
And then tell us, what are you most excited about seeing on the 3-day trip?
I'm hoping to see Donald Trump. I'm a Donald Trump fan.
Okay, awesome. And so you were also telling me you're excited to see the memorials that you will be seeing on the trip as well?
Yes, I do. I don't want to talk about the war.
No, of course not.
I know I'm a POW, but I don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your service and speaking with us this morning. It was great talking with you as well. But you can see, again, out here, 64 veterans waiting to take that flight this morning. Again, in about 30 minutes or so, they will be boarding and taking off out here. This flight almost didn't happen because of funding, but due to Southwest stepping in and providing some of the funding, they will be able to take that flight. Live at Lindbergh Field, Nate Holmes, 10 News.
Great. Thank you, Nate.
If the president hears what he just said, he may find himself at the White House.
Right?
We'll see what happens.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be the icing on the cake, right? Yeah. Very cool and well-deserved, and they definitely deserve whatever they want. All right, let's show you the temperatures outside, starting in the 50s for many areas, but check out Oceanside at the airport, 47 degrees there. 49 in Poway. Campo actually starting off in the 30s this morning, 56 degrees in Chula Vista. Tierra Santa, what a beautiful hour-by-hour forecast we have. 67 degrees by 10 a.m. By this afternoon, topping off right around 80. By 6 o'clock, temperatures dip back down to about 73 degrees. Low to mid-70s for the coast. Mostly low 80s inland, though Escondido and Poway I'm forecasting mid-80s at 83 degrees. Mostly low to mid-70s in the mountains. 84 in Santee I think will be the warmest spot for our inland neighborhoods today. And I'm going to be pinpointing warmer weather through Monday when I come back with your full forecast. How's it looking out there, Kalina?
Well, let's head back outside of the 5 freeway at 28th. You can see north and southbound moving nicely here. And your drive times out of the South Bay still up to speed on the 8055 and 54. So nothing in the way to slow you down yet. Of course, I'll let you know as soon as something pops up. 15 freeway heading northbound in North County just past the 56. We have reports of a crash here. It's already over on the shoulder, and usually on the northbound side of the 15 we don't really see too much traffic, so I'm not really anticipating anything to build up in any significant way. Southbound side looks great out of Escondido, and no issues so far out on the 5 freeway. And here's a wide view of everything else going on in San Diego. Jim?
Kalina, thank you. Police working on tracking down the woman who went viral for taunting a lion at a zoo. This isn't the first time that she has done something like this.
It's not Tuesday, but you can still celebrate with a taco. The best National Taco Day deals right here in San Diego.
Plus, late start times are a reality in San Diego Unified now. Coming up in a few minutes, the one issue parents say they have with the new bell schedule.